And coming in live from Song Song in Guam, right off the coast of somewhere near the Philippines. We're here with the day 2 of the qualifiers for ANZ Champs. I am your host, Yaku of Yakuzaku, and with me today we have La Modelo que honra a McDonald's himself, Light_VIP. How we doing, Light?
What? What's up, Yaku? We're here with qualifier number 2 of ANZ Champs, and oh boy, it's gonna be rough. This is it. It's the second one. It's the final one, and we've got a pretty nice ZvZ for us here.
That we do. And speaking of which, here we have in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura, we have the Red Zug coming down all the way from the land of Vietnam. He is Uply.
And
what team he's on.
Heroes of God, if I recall
Heroes
correctly.
of God.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Australian Zerg player representing himself, but also kind of OCE elite. It is Vivid.
Playing identical to his opponent.
Yeah. Oh god. And I don't know if you got to catch yesterday's qualifiers, but
I caught a little bit.
yeah, it was pretty cool to see everyone competing. Obviously, like the 2 top names made it through that we thought anyway, Demi and Pez, alongside I think a bit of a wild card. I know like we're familiar with him, but Quantel made it through as well.
Yep. Took out a Ranger in the lower bracket.
Yeah, that was, oh my god, that was so crazy to see, because again, there's a lot of hype around Ranger as well, so this is like a really nice opportunity for Quantel.
Really, definitely was. That was pretty close, and I don't believe I saw his name on the bracket today. I'm just gonna double check this real quick. Yeah, I didn't see it. Wait, does this mean he qualified yesterday? Quantel, I mean.
That's why. That's
He
why
qualified yesterday, right? He qualified yesterday.
That's why I brought him up.
There we go.
Yeah. As well as Tebow, one of the new Pakistani players. Yeah,
I remember that.
in a pretty one-sided series. Not gonna lie, it was.
Yeah, surprisingly one-sided. I'm definitely a really big fan of Razorblade. He is that Terran player I like to watch and kind of take builds from, and yeah, I think for the longest time, a lot of people have been seeing him as the #1 Terran player in Britain, definitely the #2 player overall, and
Yeah.
it was such a surprise that Tebow came out of nowhere and 3-0'd him.
Right, like that was really shocking to me anyway. And you know, old mate Raza, he's got another chance here today. But meanwhile, we are here in the ZvZ, and oh my god, these 2 Lings have already killed 2 drones.
More than paid for themselves, I gotta tell you. And already you can kind of see it in the worker count disparity. You know, being down 3, now actually 6 workers, doesn't seem like much, but in a mirror matchup this early on, that can snowball.
Oh yeah, it definitely can. And like speaking a little bit about these players as well. Of course, Vivid on this channel, we love him. We cast him as much as we can. You know, he's one of the
raid him as much as we can.
We do. He's one of the most rated people, streamers even. He's a great streamer. You know, he's got a duck hat. You know, shout out to Vivid. If he's streaming after this, we're probably gonna raid him. But he's great. He's from Sydney. You know, he's a solid Zerg player.
I did not know that beforehand.
Yes.
Whenever I thought of Vivid, I always thought of Tasmania for some reason.
What?
Yeah, I always thought that to me, Vivid was either really down south in Tasmania or really up north in like the tip of the Queensland.
Okay.
Not Brisbane, like the upper tip. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, just, you know, the tip, if you will. But yeah, he's one of the few from Sydney. I feel like a lot of players are from like either Brisbane or Melbourne. But here he is going up against the Vietnamese player and looking to apply some pressure here at the third base.
And he already could get away with some, almost pulling a Mio Micah there, almost losing half his lings.
Oh my gosh.
Thankfully, he does react just at the last second, and he's actually able to get a decent amount done. You know, maybe not as much as he'd like, but taking out a queen, being able to threaten this mineral line, well, a Baneling will take care of that.
Yeah,
but yeah, being able to take out a queen, that's not too bad, I would say.
He was dancing with
transitioning.
He was dancing with death there. There were a lot of moments where Baneling connection could have gone off, but Uply was a little bit slow there. And like regardless, you know, Uply, he defended quite well. He did lose the queen though, which, as you said, is pretty huge, especially in like this situation.
Yeah, you really want those that larva in this sort of Ling Bane phase of the ZvZ. Starting to transition now to roaches. Vivid, he's going to be the first one to actually get the roaches out. Uply, on the other hand, he's getting +1 range, and I don't see a roach warren.
Yeah, you don't see it because it doesn't exist, and a lone Baneling was able to sneak in here, but one Baneling isn't enough. That would have been huge, actually. Look how many are almost dead.
It would have. Jesus.
Oh my god. Another Baneling here.
And considering,
but,
and considering Uply is already up in workers, that's gonna be even bigger.
That's a bit of an understatement. Uply is heavily up in workers. He's completely saturated on 3 bases. Meanwhile, Vivid only going for not like barely 2 base saturation, looking to go for this big roach push here.
Yeah, and I think he does have the opportunity to right now, but the window is starting to go down.
Yeah,
there's only one Baneling left, and honestly, not too much in terms of the RB for Uply. But here come the Ling reinforcements coming in for the surround with the drones. And Uply should be able to hold this, and once he's dealt with this, look at how many links he's got. I think he can counterattack.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like Vivid, he lost a lot here, and again, like we do see the supplies are relatively even, but like look at the workers, you know. Vivid, he went with that attack hoping to maybe clear out this mineral line, maybe this base, and he was just completely cleaned up.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I said that Uply can go for the counterattack, but he is doing the smart thing. He is hanging back and just letting his lead get even higher. Now he's starting to push out his links, but that's mostly just because he wants to sort of cover or secure his transition into the Roach Spire.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, whoa! That was
that a fresh Baneling?
That was a single
Baneling.
Like
Baneling just
morphed. Jesus Christ!
Look at the blood.
Yeah, it's still clearing up, and yeah, like again, Uply, he made a huge wave of lings to defend himself, and after that, like he'd clean it up. He had to do something with the lings. He went across the map hoping to deal some counter damage, and was just completely shut down, giving Vivid an opportunity to get back into this. Like he's catching up in the worker count. There is still a gap, but it's a lot smaller than it once was. The big thing though is that Uply, we do see him going for that Spire.
Yep. Thankfully though, Vivid did scout that out, and if he didn't see it earlier, he's gonna see it again. He's getting a Hydralisk Den, which I have a feeling it's a little bit influenced by the Spire that he scouted out, but yeah, he should be in a stable position. Not favored by any means, but should still be able to stay alive. Vivid, meanwhile, gonna continue to do this Vivid thing. We've known him for loving his roach drops like this. Uply going for the more standard Baneling drop. I'm a little bit worried for Vivid, however, light, as those Mutalisks are already out on the map. Yeah,
the Mutalisks are already pushing out across the map, so it's possible that they could catch the Overlords before they drop. Meanwhile, this Overlord is moving in here, and it looks like Vivid, has he spotted it? Oh, he has.
He has, and already going to be evacuating that drone line. Meanwhile, the Hydras pop out and will be able to take out the Overlord. Along with the Banelings. Nicely done. Nicely held.
They do. So that was a really nice defense from Vivid, but he is getting supply block currently. These Mutalisks are dealing a lot of damage, but they do get caught out a little bit by the Hydralisk, so Uply has to be careful.
Yeah, the question you gotta ask though, are those enough Hydralisks? And it appears that it is.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Uply, he's really respecting the Hydras. Meanwhile, as this has all been going on, those drops are finally going to be coming into play.
Yeah, and since you're not bailing drops, Vivid does not need to go straight into the middle of the line, but he does have the opportunity to. This is actually a little bit dangerous, though, for the roach drops, as there's already a couple of eggs that are going to be morphing in a couple of roaches. 2 queens already going down, and a mineral line evacuated. Vivid, I love this. He knows that there's no anti-air. Immediately picks right back up.
Oh my god.
That's normally a Terran thing, but it can also be a Zerg thing.
Yeah.
Your name is Vivid.
And what this is doing is that it's forcing the Mulists to come back home because they have to deal with the Dropper Lords. Meanwhile, the Roach Ravager of Vivid is pushing in, but he has to be careful.
Oh no. Yeah, that was actually a really smart move, you know, forcing all the Mutalisks back, but this is a pretty heavy miscalculation on the side of Vivid. He did not expect Uply to be this committed to his ground army.
Exactly, and I don't blame him, right? Like, you'd normally expect, like, when someone goes Spire, they commit to the Mutalist, but Uply, he only got a handful of Mutalists, then switched back right into Roach Ravager, and we do see that his ground army... Oh, that poor lone Hydra. And losing all those Hydras earlier, like, that was such an expensive loss for Vivid, and now he does have a decent army, but it pales in comparison to what Uply has.
It really does. I think this, if there's one thing I could say for Vivid's army, though, it does have the high ground advantage. If Vivid is somehow able to find that golden position, he should be able to defend against this, but even still, I think he's going to take some pretty heavy losses.
Yeah.
By also landing everywhere.
He also has some static defense as well, so that's helping a lot in terms of Vivid. He does have the defender's advantage, but he's taking a lot of biles.
Supply is starting to be neutralized a little bit, but as you were saying, he is taking a lot of biles. Uply taking a couple biles as well, and here we go. The army supplies once again neutralizing.
Oh my god, and this is a little bit in favor of, there we go, it's going in favor of Uply at the moment. Yeah, and the Mutalisks are here as well to help out. The stack defense is all going down. Sure, there are reinforcements for Vivid, so maybe he can try and clean this up, but, like, he's reinforcing with roaches, and the Mutalisks, they're just killing all the drones.
And on top of that, just look at all the drones going down. Wait a minute, that's what you...
Exactly, Yaku, 15! The drones have gone down.
Drones go down, and with that, Uply, he's got an economy that can continue to produce army, can continue to push this. Vivid, you know, he's cleaning out this Roach Ravager, but that's all of his army.
Exactly, and behind this, Uply, he's on 4 bases. His economy has been left completely fine this entire game, so he's just able to just produce more in this situation. He's even going to be ahead in upgrades in a couple of moments as he's working on +2 armor as well, getting an infestation pit. Vivid, I mean, he's catching up on bases, but he's really hurting everywhere else.
Uply's macro, man, I gotta say I'm very, very impressed. It's just been impeccable this game.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. Like, Uply, a lot of people might not be aware of him, especially people who aren't knowledgeable about or aren't in, like, the C scene, but he has been, like, a solid Vietnamese player. He's played in so many online weeklies. He's been on the grind, and sure, he gets a little bit overshadowed by Miyamaka, but here he is shining.
Definitely is, and I think with that, Uply should be able to take the victory. Not if these Roach Ravager can have anything to deal with it, though.
Yeah, it's always difficult pushing up a ramp into a concave, but nice biles taking out a couple of overlords as well.
Yeah, not going to be supply capping Vivid just yet, but pretty soon. Hive meanwhile on the way for Uply, so he is just looking to get that 3-3 upgrades. He is not, you know, he's not going to go into his not Roach Tech, sorry, his Hive Tech. He's sticking on Roach Ravager. He's just going to get 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3. I mean, the one thing that he could incorporate is maybe some Vipers for Blinding Clouds. There's definitely different avenues to go. He's actually throwing down a Hydra then, so opting to go for Lurkers, it looks like. I don't know if it's necessary. Like, look at the, like, he's maxed out.
Well, I don't think it's really necessary, but yeah, I think Uply just wants to play it safe. He knows what is good against these this Roach Ravager. And also, if you can try to make a couple of feints and retreat behind the Lurker lines, I do not see this army of Vivid surviving. But again, it's not going to be necessary because here comes the flag and a complete surround.
The surround on Vivid's army. GG gets called.
Uply, man. Legit.
Legit. Well played. It takes game number 1, and oh my god, I'm excited to see how he does today, how far he can go.
As am I. And honestly, I'm thinking if Quantel can make it out and qualify, I think Uply has a pretty good shot as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's one of those players like for us, because we cast like all these weeklies so often, we look at Uply, we look at Nux, we look at Quantel, right? Like we look at these up and comers who are just like, you know, just under that, you know, the rest of the like top tier C players like Mumika, Demi, Ender. But we can see like they're still solid, you know, like they're solid players.
They definitely are.
And I just noticed Uply.
Like, yeah. Good old Darking, here to save the day as usual.
Yeah. You know, there are a couple of tournaments happening concurrently. Again, if you're tuning in and you're like, hold on, this is normally when we cast Battle of the Americas. Battle of the Americas is still running, but unfortunately today we don't get to cover it. As you know, we have commitments here with DreamHack and ANZ champs.
Yeah. Good old DreamHack.
I don't know if you saw Dastan in the OCE chat.
Yeah. I choose to look past that for the time being.
I love it. It's great. He's actually messaging me. He's like, I played Insane Series versus Champ today and you didn't cast it. Feels bad.
He's guilting you. Do you feel guilty yet? Like?
I honestly, I do. Even before. Well, to start, it's not because of you, okay? It's because of Darking, all right?
It's not you know? All right, but speaking of you, the viewer who's watching, I can't actually sell out you because this is an interlude. We're now on Ice and Chrome, and you know what Ice and Chrome reminds me of, like? Dear iced coffee, which I'm not drinking right now, but, you know, McDonald's iced coffee. That's refreshing taste of caramel. In the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have Red Zug. Coming out all the way from the land of Vietnam. He is going to be representing Heroes of God. We have Uply.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ice and Chrome LE, we have the Australian Zerg player representing himself, as well as OCE Elite Membership Club, ? We have Vivid.
Yeah, OCE Elite, the membership club, which you too can join over at, I don't actually know the URL.
Yeah. I guess we can talk a little bit about that. OCE Elite, it used to be a competitive team. You know, Demi was on it, Vivid, Masa, right? A couple of other players as well. I think Kellizer was on it for a while, but I
think Kellizer was kind of like a lone player ?
Yeah, he was on OCE Roots because they used to have a partnership.
Ah, right.
Yeah, back in the day.
That's what it was.
But yeah, OSC they focus a lot more on tournaments and creating events as opposed to you know, a team. And Vivid, like, he is I guess a special part of that. He's maybe not part of their yeah. It's
integral.
He's been a part of OSC at least for a very long time.
Is integral a word?
It can be, not the way that you're saying it. I know what you're trying to say. Integral.
Yeah, integral or integral, depending on how you. I don't know why I put an R in there.
Hey, look, it's early morning. Okay, it's understandable. It's fine. But yeah, like
it's just I'm thinking of Battle of the Americas, so I have that that rolling R in my mind.
Yeah, you got the Hispanic on your mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking a little bit about last game, as you know, we do have these links here. Maybe even this game, we got an Eva Chamber on the way.
That we do, and I think this comes down to Vivid really identifying what went well for him in the previous game. You know, he got a little bit of early game damage done, forced a little bit of pressure on Uply, made him uncomfortable, and from there went into he wasn't ahead, but he was stable in terms of his economy, in terms of his macro. He knew that he could really focus on himself, focus on his side of the map. And, you know, eventually he went for a push, which could have done pretty well if it wasn't too miscalculated. So this is Vivid really just
he
upgrading what he did better.
Yeah, he really wants to be aggressive with his Ling play this game. And part of it could also be that he was in a way out macroed in like the Roach Ravager stage of the game versus Uply. So maybe he doesn't want to deal with that. He wants to go for all of these Lings. There's 10 Lings are on the way, +1 melee, Baneling Nest. But Uply, he gets in and he's going to get Scout.
Does he see the Evo Chamber?
He did.
Oh, this is not going too well for Vivid right now. Uply gonna be on the defensive. You could actually see he was starting to move out of his legs earlier on. Once he saw that Evo Chamber, he backed the heck away.
Yeah.
He knew he had to get into a better position for himself because he cannot argue with +1 melee.
Yeah, and I love how active Uply is being with these Lings. He's been scouting consistently, sending them in, trying to see the drone count, and here we go. He's already making all these defensive Banelings. It's going to be all about the Ling Bane control for Vivid.
Absolutely, because Uply, he is way down to Zergling supply. Banelings are popping off. But actually, pretty good control by Vivid so far. Not losing too much, and actually, Uply has just lost a lot of Banelings. This is his last one, and it is gone.
Oh my god, that was actually insane control from Vivid. He takes out all the Banelings pretty efficiently, has his own still left here. He's going to be able to take out the Queens, take out the drones at the third base, but can he keep going into the natural?
That is going to be the main question, isn't it? As Queen does go down, but this hatchery is still standing strong. And Uply, he's deflected the initial Ling wave.
Yeah, that he has. And Vivid, he has more Lings on the way. He has his own third behind this, and he's actually droning up a little bit. But he does need to deal some more damage across the map.
Yeah, and he is just not being able to. A lot more Lings starting to chase us away from Uply. And this should just about be Vivid's final push out. For the time being, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we've got more Banelings on the way for Vivid as well. He's trying to get the best connections, but Uply, he's so good at sniping with his Queens.
Indeed, and the Queen will pay for its life, but honestly, already kind of fulfilled its role in this offense. Would have been nice to keep it alive, but sometimes you gotta, sacrifices have to be made.
Oh, yeah, trades two Banes for 2 Banes, so pretty even trade.
Bad! Uply, you gotta be careful, my guy! Vivid, you gotta be careful, my guy! Uply! The Banelings are about to pop up, my guy!
Everyone needs to be careful, everyone needs to calm down. Oh god, loses another couple of Lings there, and it looks like Vivid, he's just running out of steam.
It definitely looks that way. These Banelings will pop into the middle line, not getting too much, only 4 drones. And I mean, I guess these Banelings might not hatch. One of them will, but yeah, as you were saying, Vivid just out of steam.
But look at what he's going for. I love this. So I was a bit concerned if he was going to go for roaches behind this, but instead Vivid going right into that Spire. But he has nothing left to defend against these Lings.
Yeah, a couple of Lings will just pop out, but there is already a Baneling here for Uply, and this could just cripple Vivid out.
God,
he's getting a Spire, which is great. I don't think he's going to have the resources to make anything from that Spire.
Yeah, he just didn't have anything defensively against this massive Ling run by. Loses 3 drones. Actually, that's not too bad damage, to be honest, everything considered.
Yeah, thinking back, I mean, they traded armies, which isn't good for Vivid, considering he was on already a lower economic standing, but it could have been way worse.
Oh yeah, definitely. It could have been so much worse. And again, nicely done there. Yeah, forces the detonation on that Baneling. So Vivid, he's still trading efficiently. He still has that upgrade advantage when it comes to Ling v Ling.
And how many times has a Queen been killed at this base? Like,
how many?
That is what I want to know.
4 Queens so far have gone down. Going to be a 5th Queen for Uply. So Vivid, he's doing so good at just denying mining here at this third base.
Indeed, he is.
Oh my God, he's gonna kill it.
I love this. He just continued to pump out Ling after Ling after Ling. He knew that he had to be on the offensive. Even a drone being popping out here?
Yeah.
Because he needs as many soldiers as he can, you know. They're getting drafted, boy.
They're getting drafted, and the Mulists are here as well. And again, we were talking about the queen count. Like, it's been getting lower and lower for Uply, but these 3 queens are just enough to push away the Mulists of Vivid. But, you know, there are a lot of overlords out here on the map. A lot of them are exposed. So Vivid, his aggression has been pretty good this game. And even that reply there, that response from Uply showing that he himself is surprised. Like, oh my god, like, just give me a...
Disarm me.
Let me breathe, god damn. And I was getting a little bit concerned. Uply's third base is getting quite low.
It really is. A couple more blows like that, and well, I guess it's up to you to decide whether or not it's worth it to take out that third hatchery. But as it stands, they're now on equal worker count.
Yeah, after all that, like, I was concerned that Vivid wasn't going to be dealing enough damage, but they've equalized. You know, Vivid, he's dealt the damage that he needed to. Obviously, things could have been a lot better if he managed to get that hatchery snipe, but regardless, like, this game, it's going to continue.
That said, like, the game is going to continue, and they are on the same worker count. I gotta favor Uply in this situation just based on the previous game. He can't snipe it, but the transfuses are gonna be enough. The hatchery lives.
Hatchery lives for now. Again, it is pretty dangerously low, and we just saw that Vivid, he's aware of that. Like, he wants that kill, he wants that hatchery, and he definitely could get it.
Tempting.
Yeah, it is so tempting.
I was just gonna say, this is where you borrow an infestor, unborrow it, and then fungal the mutas.
Yeah, and
use it as bait.
Wow, I didn't even notice this, but we have a Nidus on the way. I get spotted.
Yeah, and it does get spotted now by Vivid, but I'm a little bit concerned. His mutas are here at this end of Nidus, but actually I don't see the head of Nidus popping up anywhere. If the butt dies, that's all it's gonna take. But the head of Nidus does pop out, and there are some transfuses.
Oh.
This is Uply giving Vivid a taste of his own medicine, and Vivid actually turning back into mutas.
Yeah, he was a little bit tentative trying to kill that Nidus, and he actually did, by the way. He ended up killing the Nidus, but it took him a little bit too long. Like, the head did end up popping out. Now all these drones are going down for Vivid, and with the amount of queens, I don't know if there are even enough mutalists to deal with this.
Uply is just so offended right now. He cannot. That ... was a warning to Vivid.
Like,
look, I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to kill me, otherwise I'm gonna be in your face.
That ... well, that was a solid mate right there from Uply. He was having none of it. He was like, what is this game right now? I'm just gonna go across the map. I'm gonna end it. Another Nidus going down for reinforcements. There are just so many queens here, so many transfuses going down, and Vivid, he just can't break this.
No, he cannot. The banelings have all gone down, and that was gonna be the oomph in Uply's army. And now that that's gone, I do not see Uply holding this. Look at the queen count. You know what? This is Uply saying, you can kill my queens at that third base. I'm just gonna make more and more and more, and they are gonna have their vengeance.
Exactly. He was having none of it. He's just maxing out on queens and.
And with that, Uply is gonna advance, taking out Vivid 2-0. This is why Uply is a player to look out for in the Vietnamese scene. Solid number 3 behind Mio Micah and Justice Simon.
And it's when you put it like that, it does sound a little bit bad, but again, Uply, he's a solid player. And as you said, unfortunately, Mio Micah is a solid number 1 in Vietnam. Justice Simon a number 2, but coming up in third, Uply, he's not someone to sleep on. Like, he's a solid player. He always does well in our dies, and he's here in Season 2 in DreamHack Masters Fall, trying to get into ANZ Champs.
Yeah, and I really hope he does make it in.